Dion, life on Volcanic here in Houston, Texas, and the surrounding areas. About the incident that happened the other day in Family Dollar. I will say that Family Dollar's head corporate people reached out to me this morning about the situation, and they told me that they would take care of the problem, you know what I'm saying, rid the problem. And I was trying to tell them that I wasn't trying to get the little girl fired. That was not my intention to get her fired, and it's still not my intention to get her fired. My intention was to try to wake her up by having certain conversations, especially at work, about us folks. You know, like the woman told me, she said, you know, black people ain't the only ones steal, white people steal, Mexicans steal. I said, yeah, man, because the stores on the corner, just in Laurel Cop in Houston, is full of dope fiends, black, white, and Mexicans. So don't say black people the only one be doing the stealing. And what happened was I was in line, a Mexican lady was in front of me with a little girl buying some tennis shoes, $4 or $5 tennis shoes. And she had some black ones. She asked the girl in Spanish, what about the white ones? She told her in Spanish, she said the white ones are for boys. She said I opened them up and I had to put it behind the counter because the niggas be stealing them. The black folks be stealing them, put it like that. She said los negros roban. She didn't say la gente roban. If she would have said la gente roban, that means the people steal them. Okay, but she said los negros siempre están robándoles. You know, the niggas, the black people be stealing them, you know what I'm saying? And so the Mexican lady in front of me, she knew I speak Spanish because she heard me talk with somebody on the telephone and had the phone on speaker. So she turns around and looked at me in my face. And then she turns around and she engaged in the conversation with her. Yeah, los negros siempre están robando la cosa. Oye, hay una tienda allá en que estos negros siempre roban la gente. You know, she like, yeah, the niggas, they be robbing, stealing from the store. And I was like, I'm sitting up and I'm biting my tongue, holding myself back to keep from going off. So when the customer burnt off with her racist self, it's the video, you see in the video, I tell the little sister, I said, look, let me give you a word of advice. And you got to watch what you say and how you say it when you see it. And I guess she's snapping. You know, like, did he understand me? So when I told her, yo soy cubano, that means I'm Cuban, you know what I'm saying? Yo soy Latino, Afro-Latino, un criollo, you know what I'm saying? Afro-Latino, Creole, you know what I'm saying? Now she's snapping, oh, this dude understood what I'm saying. Instead of taking in what I was trying to tell her, she was trying to debate the issue to let me know why she said what she said. And like the people at her own, like the corporate manager said, she shouldn't even have that conversation. Los negros siempre están robando. The black people, you know, she just said like gente roba, you know, people be stealing. Okay, but she significantly, she picked out and said, los negros siempre están robándoles. Por eso yo puse atrás. The niggas, the black folks, they stealing. That's why I put the stuff in the back. And I'm just saying, my intention wasn't to get her fired, but like I said, you know, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to say this to people, man, watch what you say, because you never know who understand you. Because we black, y'all must know your history. We was the navigators on the Spanish ships when they discovered the Americas, man. You know, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Panama, it's a bunch of us everywhere. Criollos, Afro-Latinos, man. Louisiana, all over here, New York. I'm like, man, we black. And I won't give a damn. I'm going to say this here, especially to the Dominicans always talk about me no black. Man, you black. Dominican ain't a race, it's a nationality. And with that said, man, y'all stay blessed. This is me, I'm in Houston. Right now, I just got to do doing this 2015 Kia Sorento. You see I changed out the radiator, had to take the bump and all that stuff. While I'm finished, finna head to my next job. And with that said, man, y'all stay blessed. And I'm just want to say this here. Thank you to all of y'all.
He says he heard a Hispanic employee making racist comments in Spanish. The thing is, he understood every word she said. Chico Dion was visiting the store last week. He says he heard an employee at the register tell another customer in Spanish that black people are always stealing at the store. Here's a moment he confronted that employee.
Man, you got to watch what you say when you say it. Because this is what I'm saying. Because you don't know who speaks Spanish. Yo soy cubano, ¿me entiendes? Pero yo soy cubano.
Okay.
Y cuando habla la gente negra, estoy hablando de mí también.
I was just saying.
Okay, but I'm just saying, you need to watch what you say.
I was just saying.
Okay, I'm just letting you know, though. When you talk about people, especially black people, man, watch what you're saying.
Hell of a defense. I was just saying, Chico, I was just saying. It's not clear what the status of the employee is at that.
Yeah, man. You gotta watch these Hispanics, these Latinos, man. They are a serious problem. You know, these Hispanics and Latinos, whatever you want to call them, excuse me, are a serious problem if you black. These are this is why, because now what they'll do, what the problem is, you got people around you that's your enemies, and now they integrated with you, and it's not like the white people where they just speak in English. You got people who really will kill you, do you harm, on you, you know, stab you in the back, whatever, but then they speak in another language, and if you don't know no Spanish, then you at a disadvantage. So that's the problem with integration. Now they're integrating you with people with a language that you don't speak. You understand? And so they are a problem, right? Like today, I went to work, and one of the jobs I had to do, I had to inspect a wireless access point on the outside of a building at a chicken place, right? Think Popeyes, something like that, right? And so when I got there, there was a couple of employees and a white manager. So I told the white manager, I showed him my work order. I said, listen, buddy, the corporate wants me to take some pictures of a wireless access point you guys are using for your drive-through. I took him outside, showed it to him, showed him the work order. So the white dude, he was cool. He said, all right, no problem, man. I see you got the work order, go do your thing. You know what I mean? Do what you gotta do. I said, all right, when I finish, I just need you to sign the work orders before I leave to let them know that I took the pictures. He said, okay, cool. Now he goes back inside. Then another manager comes that works, I guess he's like the area manager or whatever, he works at a couple of the stores. The other guy, he runs, he I don't know where he went, to the bathroom or whatever. And so he's like, start following me around. So he sees me, I guess like, I got a ladder, I'm looking at the access point. He follows me outside. He don't say shit to me. I mean, I knew he worked there. So he's following me. He comes out, he's looking around. He looks around the side of the building like he's looking at something else, but he's following me. A Hispanic man, right? Some Mexican or whatever, right? Instead of just asking me, you know, what's going on or whatever, actually just trying, you know, talk like normal, he act like he's spying on me. So he's just like hovering around behind me on the side of the building. So I went and put the ladder back and went inside. And so he walked, then he finally decided, like, hey, what's going on? You know what I mean? Since he keeps following me, but he won't say nothing. So I walk back inside, I go walk in the back. And so, he's like, what's going on? So I said, yeah, I'm here, you know, I said, look, man, I'm just here. I got a work order for this access point from corporate. They want to get some pictures. I guess it's malfunction. He said, well, can you explain it to me? I said, I don't know. Your work order doesn't say what the malfunction is. They just want pictures of the access point in this location. And I'm going to take the pictures and send it to them. Here's the work order. It's real simple. Mind you, I had already talked to the white man. So when the white guy comes, he walks by me and he says something to him. He tells him, I guess he said, this guy might be running a scam. This is what the Hispanic man, after the white man that said, it's cool, go ahead, he comes back from the bathroom, wherever the fuck he was at, and he tells him, he slides him off and says, this guy is a scammer. Now, if I was a white man or some spit and I walked in there, it would have been all cool. But he see this Negro coming here, and I didn't mind you, already talked to the white manager, show him the work order. Instead of him saying, yeah, I saw the work order, the guy's cool, everything's cool, he's just taking pictures and he's leaving. He starts in talking about, I said, well, look, man, we good. I sent the pictures to corporate. I'm leaving, sign the work order. He says, I'm not. After the guy told him I'm scamming, I might be a scammer. He tells him, he says, I'm not going to sign your work order. I got to call, then this motherfucker, so then the Hispanic motherfucker, he says he got to call corporate because I'm probably a scammer. They verified it. So then the dude said, I'm not signing. I said, I don't give a fuck. Don't sign the work order. Fuck you. I said, I'm going to get paid either way. And I left. So as I was leaving, he was like, nah, he checked it out. You good. So then he signs the work order. So then he said, then he's like, oh man, you know how it is. And I wanted to really go in on him, but I got to get my money. I got to keep it pimping. So I'm like, I got to be cool. I'm not going to go in on these two clowns. Right? Because if it would have been a white man or a Spanish man walked in there, they wouldn't have said shit. But because I walked in there, right, and I ain't got the complexion for the protection, They start with you might be scamming. And he, mind you, the white man was cool at first until a Hispanic Latin man, right, whatever you want to call him, started telling him, watch this guy, he might be a scammer. Now I said, motherfucker, you already saw my work order. Oh yeah, I mean, so these Hispanic motherfuckers are a problem, man. And you gotta face the facts that these people are not your friends. A lot of these people are your enemies. There's no such thing as a black-brown coalition. These people are your enemies, and they are a fucking problem. Period. Anytime you could be working and all of a sudden everything cool, and they show up and start basically racially profiling you on the job, and then this motherfucker hollering, you know how it is. I say, no, motherfucker, I don't know how it is. And I walked out. You know, anytime somebody can jump the border, he probably an anchor baby. Jump the border and then come across the border with all this anti-black racist shit. You gotta be careful, man. You know, and this is a warning, a PSA warning for black people, man. You know what I'm saying? These people are a fucking problem. So I don't give a fuck what Donald Trump do. Not that he not a problem, but at least he speak English, and you know, if he say fuck you nigga, at least you know what he said. Right? In their case, they can say call you a little monkey, monquito, or negrito, something, whatever, and call you a nigga. You don't even know what they said. Unless you speak Spanish like my man. So you gotta learn some Spanish. You gotta be careful when you traveling to different places, whether it be Mexico or Colombia or Cuba or wherever you going. You might be on vacation and you think these people is cool, but they doing this shit in their country and then coming across the border into America, and now they bringing, you know, they just some KKK with salsa, basically. And so now you got a double threat. You not only got an anti-black racist, but you got an anti-black racist who might be around a group of anti-black racists that you don't understand the language. And let's say they plotting to, you know, let's say you at a nightclub. You in Houston, you in Los Angeles. You could be in the States. And you at a club and there's a bunch of them around. And they, you know, they might be plotting to, you know, do something to you in the parking lot or in the bathroom or whatever, right? Or on your job or anywhere. Now, your problem is you don't understand the language of the people that's plotting on you. It's like going back to slavery, where you was a slave and they took you into slavery and they understand English, but you only spoke Swahili or whatever, right? Or if you was an Indian, you ain't speaking, they had you on a plantation and you didn't speak the English. But all of the people that had captured you, they speak in English. You don't know what the fuck they talking about. These people are a problem, man, and they are a fucking threat. It's like being in the midst of a standing army. It's tens of millions of them motherfuckers running around here. And you see the type of shit that they doing. They handling your food at these restaurants. They waiting on you. They working with you. The question is, what are they saying about you? What are they planning to do? Do you have any idea? I told you, I had a son. He's dead to me now. They kidnapped him. The people, the Hispanics that kidnapped him called me a nigger, and then they kidnapped my son. Right? And when I found him 20 years later, and I told him, he said, these people are not racist. They like black people. This is insanity. Right? And it's going to end badly, but I'm going to leave it right there. You know what I'm saying? Because there got to be a reckoning. It's got to be a reckoning. You can't they talk about America and all this shit. It ain't going to be no utopia. It has to be a reckoning. That's different. You can't put lipstick and a dress on a pig. It's still a fucking pig. What you think gonna happen if something cut loose? I'm gonna just say this, right? With all these people around you, man, I'm gone, man. It's obvious where this is going, but I'm gone. I guess you got to go along to get along for now. But it's gonna be a reckoning, man. Believe that.